Alright, welcome back to Dwarf Fortress. Last time I gave you a teaser, and now it's time to go for the real deal. And the real deal is the heavily modified Dwarf Fortress, or Dwarf Fortress with a lot of extensions like Legends Viewer and ISO Stone, I believe it's called. ISO World. So yeah, let's first start off like where the fuck we are in the huge world. This is the whole world that got generated. Um, it's different from the teaser because the save from the teaser got corrupted and I had to restart. That's Dwarf Fortress for you. So yeah, this is the world, and we are actually part of the Unbridled Keys. Their home civilization is all the way to the south, and we set up shop all the way in the north. Yeah, makes sense, but it's fine. And we can also see that there is a lot of stuff around us. Like, this is our fortress, it's called Dome Scaly, and there are four small or five small dwarven outposts to the west of us, and then there's like a bit of bleaching to the north of us, whatever the fuck that is. And to the east there's a giant jaguar. The giant jaguar, I have seen him pop up every once in a while in artwork from the dwarves. They like make a fucking engraving of the giant jaguar because it's apparently like really fucking scary and it eats dwarfs for lunch, I believe. So yeah, they got traumatized, and since then they've been engraving that jaguar on shit like walls and stuff. But yeah, it's fine. So this is our location of our fortress, and I will show you what it looks like in ISO world. It's this little bit in between a valley. This is ISO world. It makes like a. It uses the detailed maps that I extracted from the Dwarf Fortress Legends viewer. That's basically the whole world, and then you select like biomes and shit. Biomes, I wanted to show this because this actually shows the fortress or the location of it on the map. It's like, I think it was 6 or 7 long and then 5 wide, and we are in the middle of 4 biomes. One of them was, I think it was broadleaf forest, rocky something, savanna, and another kind of forest, but it's not that important. But this is just to give you like a visual representation of where we are in the world. And then to the west you can see those dwarven outposts, and we are located like at the edge of the continent. It's pretty cool, and I will switch the view here real quick to see if there's like anything worth seeing, but we're in the good part of the world. There's some elevations, and that's pretty much it, I guess. So I'll give you the tour of the fortress now, like in the tiles or in the side. Alright, welcome to Dwarf Fortress. This is the top-down view from that area, the 6x5 or whatever it was, in the local map. So we saw the world view, and this is the local map. This is, let's see, 143 sea levels above sea level. You can see it in the bottom right corner, and we are going to drop a few till we reach the level of the river. So you can see this is like 10 levels lower. This is the ground level in the map, because here we have the river and it flows off the map. I'll at one level, and I will zoom a bit in so you can actually see some stuff. So this is the ground level, in my opinion. You can see some stuff like a tree here, and if you go up a level you see the leaves and the tree trunks, but that tree is actually over different amount of sea levels or levels in altitude. Dwarfs are 4/7 of a sea level high, so they reach a bit over half of a sea level. That's their size, and yeah, some other creatures are a bit larger because dwarves are mainly like the small little people that dwarves are. But that aside, let's take a look at the fortress. This is actually not the entrance, but the river is mainly used as like a source of water that is being transported through a pump stack. So the water flows in through a carved tunnel, and then it gets pumped upwards 3 levels by windmills. You can actually see it over here. I need to put my cursor over it, and it will say windmill, and if I unpause the game then you will see that stuff is moving here, and that's pretty normal. Windmills, they produce, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Or is it actually 6? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them produce 120 total power to power, I believe it was 6 screw pumps that pull up the water one by one and into the aqueduct. Let's follow the water inside. There are 2 bridges that are being used as like a cutoff valve. One goes to the north. This goes into a well, and the other one is here for the drowning chamber. But I will just follow the water first upwards into the dining hall. So this is the highest the water will reach, but yeah, I made a 1 tile wide hole all the way down, and over here we have a well, and people can actually use the well to draw water from it, but they won't unless they're sick, because dwarves drink booze. They don't use water. Water is for fucking losers. You can see that over here, drinks, we have quite a lot of barrels, like almost 600 and 700 of rice beer and amaranth beer, so they've got plenty to sip on, which is nice, and a total amount of 2.2k drinks that will last these. How many do I have? 41 dwarfs, quite a while, I hope. So this area, it's I think 5 levels higher than the water from the aqueduct, and 3 higher than the level of the river. So I hope you're still with me as I try to explain how this fortress works. Over here we have the dining area. This is actually outside, it's walled off, there's a wall here. And what does this mean? It means that my dwarfs are in the sunlight, but they are protected by a roof and nothing will be able to get to them. I have carved out this area downwards into the, what is it? Need to see what this is. Loamy sand cavern floor, and because I constructed a floor over it, it still counts as inside, but it's above ground and light, so that means grass will grow here. And this is where I put all my grass-eating animals, such as a donkey, I think this is a water buffalo, there's a hunting dog guarding, the horse, and yeah, the rest of the poultry. There's chickens inside, some ducks, and I believe these are turkeys. Yeah, and then I have like some pigs inside as well. Yeah, and this is the farming area as well. And over here we have some more farming area. But yeah, so my dwarfs, they are outside. That means they don't get ill from all the sunlight, because otherwise if they are cave dwarfs, sorry for the pronunciation, they will just run into the sunlight every once in a while, and then they will start throwing up and puking like all over the fortress, and I don't really want that, because then my dwarfs are useless outside. So I kind of want them to have an area outside where they sit, and this is the dining hall, so they can get adjusted to the sunlight. But yeah, let's continue the tour of the fortress. One level higher, this is where I put all the refuse and corpses if I would have any. And then downwards we have the farming area. Even more downwards we have the area where we place all the food. So you can actually see these are barrels with wine, but I also have the camel meat and shit from stuff that that my hunters brought back, and these are the finished products, the roasts. So this is like a lavish meal, I believe it's called. And if we continue downwards, this is like the workshops for the food producing, or the meat industry and shit, and farming areas. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I made a 30 by 30 square in the middle, and then I placed up and down stairs around it. So I have like, I'll give you a proper example. Oh yeah, it's the one upstairs. That's going to make more sense. Like, these are the layouts. So I actually have like a system in it. There's like these up and down stairs, and then there's 30 in between, one extra space here, and then the same goes for over here, one space in between, 30 in the middle, one space, and then stairs again. So I can like make some exceptions, but usually I try not to place anything underneath stairs, so that I can make like something else here, but I try not to make it overlap with the stairs, so I can have like one shaft up and down or whatever, and that actually makes sense, like planning wise, if you want to do something bigger. But yeah, where were we? We were on the industry level with the food. Yeah, okay. And then we continue down. This is actually the aqueduct level. And here we have some lever that operates the bridges. These three here, you can see them here. Those bridges are now in position, but if I would pull these levers, the water would drop down into this small area. It's being separated by upstairs, so that if the water would fall in, it would remain in here, and stuff inside of it would pretty much drown because it would be full of water and it wouldn't be able to go up. One thing that I did notice is that I still need to place like a second blocking bridge over here to make it unable for stuff that I catch inside of here to escape, and then I will drop the water lower here, and then stuff inside here will drown. When it drowns, then I will pull this lever and it will release these bridges, and the water will fall in here and hopefully evaporate. I think I'll need to make this bigger though, otherwise it's going to be 7, 3, 2, maybe 1. I don't know yet. It might be too compact for the water to evaporate. It needs to be 1 or 2 out of 7, the water level. in order for it to be able to evaporate. But yeah, so this is actually the entrance to the fort, or one of the entrances, and they can go in here through these stairs, and then something will get caught in the traps. I will get notified, pull these levers, they get trapped here, pull these levers, the water will drop down, stuff will drown, and I will release the water into here and clean out whatever corpses and shit like remain, and then I will float more water here after closing the bridges again, and the water or drowning trap will be ready for use again. Let's continue down. This is one of the entrances, this is another one. You can actually see that you need to cross a really small path in order to get here, and then you are inside. These are like stairs that connect to the rest of the fortress with all the stockpiles and shit. But yeah, the thing is, hopefully they'll never reach the the fort. One thing I do need to add here is like a guard dog or two, because kobolds and thieves, they will ignore the traps and they will just get in. But kobolds and shit, they're pretty easy because they're like small little fucking critters that steal shit, but they're annoying nonetheless. But let's say these are goblins that try to enter, then they are not trap avoid, and they will actually activate these traps. And now your question is, what are these traps? Well, these are weapon traps. They are a really crappy mechanism, and it's important actually that it's a crappy mechanism with 3 spiked balls on them, and that will generate 1 attack on the creature if it steps on it. And it's important that the mechanism is really crappy, because if I use the masterwork one, then the hit would connect and I would have like a dead goblin over here with splattered parts, and then my dwarves would try and collect it, like the loot and whatever the shit, and I don't want that. I want them to be able to see the trap get sprung, and then I want them to avoid it. And when they avoid a really crappy trap, they tend to dodge, and the next step of dodging is sidestepping or going forwards or backwards. Those two don't really do anything until they trigger the next one, but it's important that when they dodge to the side, well, I don't know if you can actually see it, but this is open space, so it's basically a 1 tile wide bridge, and if they decide to dodge, they will fall. Ah, fuck, I forgot to count. I'll need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels lower. Usually when you drop 7 levels lower in Dwarf Fortress and you hit granite, you pretty much break stuff or you splatter on the ground, and that's kind of what we want to achieve here. We want to have minimum amounts of work, and we kind of want this trap to do work on its own. So that means they will dodge stuff and they will drop to their death, and that's basically the plan here. I do need to put like either a bridge here or something else that blocks them if I want to clean out whatever stuff dropped downstairs already. And then there is the third trap or pathway or trapped pathway that leads to my fortress, but that hasn't really finished yet. I still need to make some small adjustments, and that is this small pathway over here. If something miraculously survives the fall and would like to exit, then well, this will be closed, so they can't really exit through here. But that's for getting all the stones still out. I needed a way in. But you have to think that this one is closed, and then they will try to path their way out. They will go the stairs, on the stairs upwards, 2 levels, and then they will be on this small pathway and try to exit through here. It's downwards, and then it will lead into the fortress upwards. And if I haven't noticed it by then my guard talks and what was this animal again? I think it was a tiger. Yeah, war tiger. Then they will hopefully rip them to shreds and save me the need from using my military or militia to clean it up. But yeah, the contingency plan for this one is actually trapping stuff that is really fucking annoying. So I'm actually going to dig a way through here as well and make it like as a, I don't know, a third pathway that I can open if I see something enter, like a bronze colossus. Then I will try to make him pass through here, and I will raise the bridge here and at the bottom, and then he will get stuck in like this hallway here, because the bridges will be raised, well, not raised, they will be lowered, I think, because they don't make a tile at the end. But he will not be able to cross this 3 tile wide open space, and he will be stuck in the middle. And then I will be setting up like a ballista here. You might already see it, but this thing here, this is a fortification, so this is not a wall like next to it, but this is a fortification, so that means it's, I think it was 5 out of 7 high, and then there's like holes in it, so you can actually shoot through it, and then this will be the spot where the ballista is. I've already made some siege ammo for like easy getting to, and basically it will be stuck here until I finish firing like ballista rounds at it, and hopefully one of them will connect. Basically it will kill them, hopefully. I'm going to put some tips on those to make them like better than the average wooden bolt, but like maybe weapon grade steel later, but that's something for the future. So that's actually the third trap, and this is what I have been doing for, I think it was 10 hours already, because building fucking fortresses in Dwarf Fortress takes time. But yeah, it didn't always go well. I tried to build some stuff next to like a tree, and it kept crashing, and it took like 3 or 4 crashes before I figured like what the fuck the problem was. But yeah, state of the fortress is pretty good. We have some decent people. We have quite a lot of fucking poultry. Like we have like 50 turkeys or something. I don't know. We are trading with elves, but I think I want to wage war on them later. But yeah, for now we're trading like the really crappy like weapon traps for like tigers and shit, so that's nice. And then yeah, we killed some stuff, but we haven't really gotten attacked by kobolds or goblins yet, but I really want that to happen because I want to test all my traps. But yeah, this was the state of the fortress. I'll show the rest of the lower levels as well. They're mostly stockpiles though, with some workshops next to them. We have quite a lot of wood, and then furniture, more wood, and workshops for wood ready. But yeah, I think we are going to be fine. We have like so much goddamn shit already. I just need to make like everything nicer, and maybe finish the rest of the fortifications, and then we will continue downwards into the cavern layers, and hopefully I'll make some nice recording of our first visit of goblins. I tried to make like a fast forwarded version of like the 10 hours of gameplay, but it basically either goes too fast or too slow, and it looks like a goddamn slideshow then, and 30 minute slideshow isn't that much fun. So I figured I do the overview here, and I hope it actually makes some sense to you. If you want to know more, just ask below in the comments, and I will try to answer them as best as possible. Let's take a look at the dwarf, by the way, like a random one, and see whatever the fuck they are up to. This is an administrator. They're fucking boring. They're almost nobility. Fuck nobility. Let's see this dude. He looks like a farmer. Let's see what he is up to. He is in healthy condition. That's good. Does he have any relationships? Yeah, to two deities. And what does he look like? He is... Oh, it's a she. She's very fat. Her eyes are ochre. Her hair is wavy. Her medium-length hair is neatly combed. Her small lopped ears are extremely tall. Oh, she's like a fucking half-elf or something. We'll have to arrange like an accident for this one. Her eyebrows are quite long. Her raw umber skin is slightly wrinkled, and her hair is copper with a touch of grey. How old is this one? 82 years old. Yeah, okay, that's halfway dwarven age, I guess. Yeah, like this is like a dwarf, and they're like pretty weird sometimes, but I'm pretty happy with mine. If I recall, my manager had some issues lately, so let's see how this one is. Yeah. Oh yeah, he didn't really fall. Like a cavern section collapsed when he was mining, which was most unfortunate. And he managed to get like his left hand caught in the blast or whatever, and yeah, it got cleaned by our treasure slash medical dwarf. And but unfortunately the wound is still infected. If we go to the thoughts of this person, is it a he or she? Yeah, it's a he. Then we can see that he was restless and annoyed after suffering a minor injury. But yeah, he's happy now. He's finishing up some work. He's quite satisfied. So that's really nice. And he dreams of raising a family. Oh, that's so cute. So yeah, our dwarfs, they're like they're interesting, to say the least. They all have their own thoughts, and like, oh, I was near my own door. It was very interesting. Stuff like that. They're fun to look at because they have their own thought process going on. And then you also have the engravings. That's when they make art. They make something like here. They engrave the wall with an exceptionally designed image of Atera Ripperblum, the giant jaguar of Zon. Oh, that's actually the jaguar I told you about. He was like the two caves to the right or something, to the east. And yeah, like the jaguar is laboring. Don't ask me like how, but it relates to the settling of the giant jaguar in the forests of Impaling in the year of 3. By the way, we are in year... which year are we? Year 6. So, yeah. I look forward to having our first siege, and then I can continue with all the talking. But yeah, I'll leave it at this. I think this is half an hour already, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing comments about this. If you think this is a nice series or not, or like it's fucking boring, stop it, I really play something else, like stuff like that, just let me know in the comments. Alright, thanks for watching, have a good one, see ya.
Ain't this a dude with pride and love for the game? Now it's all about money and fucking fame. Well, I guess I have changed, I'm redefined. But please listen to this with an open mind. You guys are one of a kind. I will never sell my soul and leave this army behind.